Hanju thought to himself, the most important thing right now is, but before he could think more, his disciples had already rushed over, shouting loudly, Master! Ancestor! Their voices drew Hanju's attention, and he immediately turned to look. Everyone was staring at him, their faces filled with both worry and emotion. Their master had actually traded his own freedom for peace in the mortal world. Hongguan lowered his head in guilt and self-blame. If I had cultivation like my husband's, then maybe he wouldn't have had to compromise. Fairy Shiguan, standing beside him with a sorrowful expression, also lowered her head. We've brought trouble upon you. Elsewhere, a group had gathered around a white chicken holding a mirror. Muttering, I haven't seen it yet. The vendor said there was only one volume of the comic. Han recorded everything carefully. If I take too many shots, I'll get caught. Someone couldn't hold back and urged, hurry up. Stop stalling. They were all curious. Let's see. Just who was that divine being? That guy was so strong but still lost. I need to know what that person looks like so I can steer clear if we ever meet. By the will of the nine heavens, divine thunder manifesting Lord, grant us vision. A noisy group sighed. Sigh. The loading is so slow. Didn't you buy the premium subscription? The white chicken quickly replied, my Taoist title is Steamed Bunhead. What do you think? Another person chimed in. I heard this incident was targeting Crimson Cloud Realm, which was always known for being weak. That's what makes me curious. How could such a backwater place defeat someone at the peak of the heavenly immortal realm? Even the great spirit martial god was defeated, I heard. The crowd buzzed with excitement until one person gasped. What? That's a double kill. How shameless. Just then, someone appeared behind them. It was Xuan Qingjuan. She had picked up on their words. Crimson Cloud Realm? Curious, she stepped closer to the crowd gathered around the white chicken with the Taoist title Steamed Bunhead. Right then, the group burst into excitement. It's here! Steamed Bunhead grinned, showing off his pearly white teeth. Seeing someone this powerful is worth 3 times the price. But in the mirror, what appeared was something long and narrow. And beneath it were a few strands of hair poking out. It looked extremely suggestive. Everyone was stunned. Question marks practically floating above their heads. Someone asked, what the heck is this? Looking closer, one person screamed, there's hair. It's a nose. Steamed Bunhead cried out angrily, what the hell? I spent 300 years' worth of wages just to see this? They chatted noisily. No other images? Come on, who has a nose that long? Steamed Bunhead shouted. Damn it! Refund me. The crowd sighed in disappointment. Well, that's it. No one knows who it is. Xuan Qingjuan, who had quietly approached them, softly moved her lips and then smiled. Thinking of Hanju's cold expression, she reminisced about their first meeting. Back then, his cultivation was only at the nascent soul stage, while she had already been in the Great Ascension realm for many years. Now, my darling, Xuan Qingjuan's eyes filled with longing. She smiled and said, as expected of the man, I chose, you've finally surpassed me. 10 years later, peace returned to the mortal world. The demonic cultivators were nearly wiped out. Everyone in the world knew that the one who stood against the celestial gods was the elder god slayer. Temples were erected everywhere, with endless incense offerings. Due to vast territories and poor communication, the portraits and statues made were often inaccurate. The depictions of the elder god slayer varied greatly from Hanju's true appearance. At that moment, Hanju's disciples and grand disciples were carrying maps and climbing a long staircase up a mountain. Looking at the statue ahead, one of them couldn't help but say, this is the statue the great Yan dynasty commissioned. They even invited our sect disciples to advise on it. Overall, it's decent, not too many problems. What do you all think? Someone nearby reluctantly replied, to be fair, the statue has soul. The one holding the map had a deadpan look. The master's face is accurate, but a few details need fixing. The statue had round eyes and a wide, silly grin. Another person commented, it's missing the bangs. Someone immediately agreed, exactly. Good thing Steamed Bunhead has sharp eyes. Even small flaws can't be overlooked. Fix them and it'll be perfect. Another disciple chimed in, Senior Master is right. I'll go report the changes. The statue in front of them had an abnormally tall nose, with a face, eyes, and a smiling mouth. Right on the tip, it looked absolutely absurd. Steamed Bun Head finally couldn't hold back his anger. He threw the design plans on the ground and roared, "Damn it! How are we supposed to promote our master's glorious image like this?" Someone quickly reminded him, "Master told us to keep a low profile, don't reveal too much. This design might help confuse the enemy." Steamed Bun Head was still shouting, "Master's stunning looks! What a waste!" Someone in the group whispered, calm down, Master never cared about looks anyway. As long as he's happy, that's enough." At the same time, Ji Xianxin happened to walk by. He looked at the group and thought, these disciples of Taoist Kitty really are full of energy. A radiant light shone down from the cave's ceiling. Inside, someone spoke up, "Immortal Kitty, or rather, Taoist friend, this might be the last time I cook soup for you." Hanju looked at the man before him, surprised. "You're going to ascend?" Ji Xianxin, sitting across from him, nodded. "The calamity of the celestial gods passed over 10 years ago. The mortal world's great tribulation was suppressed by me. I don't have the means you do to remain in the mortal world. It's time for me to go." He thought to himself, "Do you still care about me?" Hanju sat silently, saying nothing. Ji Xianxin looked up and asked, "When will you ascend?" Hanju turned away to avoid his gaze, sighing, "We'll see. I just finished fighting those guys. Even if I went up now, I'd have to become a leader right away. Maybe I'm not that great either." Ji Xianxin thought for a moment before agreeing. "You're right, then I'll go to the heavenly court first. Later, I'll watch over you." Though he said that, Ji Xianxin's expression remained gloomy. Deep down, he thought, Kitty Taoist's friend's strength now far surpasses mine. Even if I ascend, I doubt I can overtake him. Suddenly, Hanju extended his hand toward him. "Then I wish you a bright future, Ji Xian." Shin stared blankly at the offered fist. His eyes lit up brilliantly, and to him, Hanju suddenly looked incredibly handsome. Ji Xianxin bumped fists with Hanju. "Kitty Taoist's friend, sooner or later, I will surpass you," Hanju calmly replied. "As for talent, I believe you'll one day astonish us all with a technique never seen before." Blushing with emotion, Ji Xianxin reminded him, "In this bundle, there's soup of all kinds of flavors. It won't spoil or expire. Enough to last you 1,000 years. I hope I can see you again before you finish it." Hanju was speechless. "Isn't that just prepackaged food?" Ji Xianxin puffed up his cheeks in frustration. "Farewell." The sky grew dark, and rain was imminent. Mist rose above still waters. Ji Xianxin looked up at the sky and thought, Ji Xianxin, his eyes flashing blue light, was born to be the strongest man. From the heavens above, a triple-layered heavenly dragon tribulation thunderbolt tore through the sky, striking where Ji Xianxin sat. First layer of tribulation. Silently, he chanted in his heart, "Farewell, endless mountains and clouds, heaven and earth, so solitary." Hanju stood still, silently gazing up at the flash of lightning. Just then, the heavenly emperor suddenly appeared behind him. "You're close with him?" Startled by the unexpected voice, Hanju nearly jumped out of his skin. "Heavenly Emperor!" he shouted. The Heavenly Emperor calmly said, "I can tell. No need for introductions." Hanju recalled the Heavenly Emperor's information from the system interface and began calculating in his mind. Favorability, 3 stars. He frowned slightly, feeling uneasy. Would someone with 3-star favorability really not harm me? As if reading his thoughts, the Heavenly Emperor said, "You don't need to be so cautious. I only had Xiao Shan attack with full force to test you, not to kill you." Hanju's eyes sparkled as he looked at the Heavenly Emperor. "Then it was to test me, wasn't it, Your Majesty?" The Heavenly Emperor replied evenly, "Even if you try to hide it, I can sense your wariness. Defeating Xiao Shan proves your potential. It was worth meeting you in person." Hanju smiled innocently and flattered him. "Thank you for the praise, Your Majesty. Would you like some tea?" He offered a steaming cup. "This tea made from fusang tree buds is far better than the protein powder Xiao Shan gives me all the time. Do you like it?" Hanju asked excitedly. "I still have a lot of local specialties. I'll ask Immortal Crimson Cloud to send more next time." The Heavenly Emperor closed his eyes halfway and thought about his oddly eccentric subordinates. "What I lack is a shameless genius like this. If Xiao Shan interacts with him more, Maybe he'll fix some of those brainless habits. He opened his eyes and said, You're not simple, you don't cultivate the Tai Dao, you're surrounded by people with immense fortune, yet you refuse to ascend. I can't even see your past fate clearly. The more the Heavenly Emperor said, the more Hanju sweated, panicking. He quickly explained, Your Majesty, I swear, I absolutely. The Heavenly Emperor cut him off with a sharp stare. Are you perhaps the type of person that Tai Bai mentioned? Socially anxious? Afraid of complications? That's why you refuse to join the Heavenly Court and keep stalling? Hanju's eyes widened, huh? How could that be? But his reaction only confirmed the suspicion. The Heavenly Emperor sighed. I see now, your karmic ties in this life are few, and you've spoken to fewer people than a mortal does in a lifetime. Curious, I looked into your past. Turns out you were a reclusive freak who cultivated bitterly from childhood. Hanju blanked out. Reclusive freak? At that moment, the Heavenly Emperor placed an object on the table. If that's how you are, I won't force you, but you really don't want to be involved with the mess of the upper realm? Fine, from today, you will replace Immortal Crimson Cloud as the immortal officer of this realm. You will hold the Heavenly Dao command token, giving you power over life and death under the Heavenly Dao. The Heavenly Emperor calmly continued. As for Immortal Crimson Cloud, I know you're close. He'll be promoted. Normally, no celestial will bother you. As for your privileges, your cultivation benefits will be equal to that of my princes. You won't need to attend court. The orders of the upper realm won't affect you. Hanju turned pale. This sounds too good. Isn't this a trap? But on the other hand, it sounded like a complete removal from political struggles, which he had no interest in anyway. Seeing Hanju still hesitating, the Heavenly Emperor added, I'll assign someone to meet with you in private. If you need anything, you can ask him. Hanju was confused. Your Majesty, are you planning to hide me away? The Heavenly Emperor replied flatly, The Heavenly Court is deep water. Its power struggles are complex, understand? Hanju narrowed his eyes. Your Majesty, you must have another request, right? The Heavenly Emperor said softly, I want you to grow stronger, quickly, and become the second Grand General, a Grand General who listens only to me. Will you? Hanju immediately understood. So it's a matter of choosing sides, and the Heavenly Emperor's direct way of speaking really suited him. Maybe working for him wouldn't be so bad. He nodded without hesitation. Since your Majesty is so sincere, I naturally agree. Honestly, the reason I haven't dared to ascend is because I have no backing up there, and quite a few enemies. The Heavenly Emperor looked directly at him and said with emphasis, Forget the past. From now on, I will be your greatest backing.